Hi folks, JC Planis. I'm an election lawyer. I'm a professor of election law, and I'm here to talk to you about vote by mail ballots, or what used to be called in Florida absentee ballots. This is a very safe way to vote, and we've been doing it for many years. And in fact, other states and other countries actually have purely vote by mail ballots. The military has purely vote by mail ballots. And this is a safe way to vote, despite what the president says. Now, in the SAVE Act, which he wants to pass, there's a complete ban pretty much on vote by mail ballots. And he just went to the Supreme Court yesterday to try to really curtail vote by mail ballots. But this would just hurt people's ability to vote, especially in very rural areas where it's hard to go to a precinct. Now, we have a good process of signature match to make sure that these ballots are safe and secure. In fact, the ballot gets mailed to somebody's home and it only goes to the voter. So when the voter turns it in, that's what it is. Now, I really don't trust the mail generally. So if you've ordered your vote by mail ballot, I suggest you either go to the elections department or you go to one of the drop boxes, which a lot of the places have, and use that. In fact, Republicans have tried to curtail drop boxes. Why? I have no idea, because a drop box is actually a lot more safe and secure than a flimsy blue mailbox, which are hard to find to begin with. And the truth is that we've put in lots of security in vote by mail to the point that there should be no thought of any fraud surrounding this. This is something that's invented by Trump. Now, some states have laws that don't allow the vote by mail ballots to be counted until after all of early voting and election day is counted. And this is what happened in Pennsylvania. This is what happened in Georgia in 2020. And this is what happened in California in their primary. The thing that has to be done is to change the laws in those states to be like Florida law that counts the vote by mail ballots before. The first thing reported in Florida on election night is actually the vote by mail ballots. Change the law in these states so it takes away the appearance that votes keep coming in. No, those votes were already in. They were mailed. It's just in Pennsylvania and Georgia, they weren't allowed to be counted until the election day totals were counted. Now, in 2020, this was significant because almost the majority of the people voted by mail because of the COVID pandemic. It was a necessary thing. We shouldn't have any laws that restrict people's rights to vote. We have ways to challenge vote by mail ballots if they're fraudulent. If someone doesn't sign their ballot, it gets temporarily rejected and the voter has to bring in an affidavit. Same thing if the signature on the ballot doesn't match. It gets temporarily rejected and the voter can give in an affidavit. This is a good process. This secures the ballot. In the few cases that we've seen issues, it's always in nursing homes, in residential housing, and it's always in primaries and local elections. But we can have supervised early voting and vote by mail in those places, which we should do. We should spend the money to do that, not get rid of a way that people find easiest to vote. In fact, I always order my vote by mail ballot and I go and I turn it in at an early voting site at the drop box. It's the most convenient way to go. So let's not confuse the issues. As a Republican election lawyer in a past life, I can tell you, we looked for vote by mail fraud and we didn't find anything. And the president is lying. Unfortunately, a lot of his followers have believed that. But vote by mail is safe and secure, and everybody should be allowed to do it, and there should be no restrictions on vote by mail.